Let me show you around October 1st in Lagos, Tafawa Balewa Square, 1960. The Britain flag was slowly brought down, and for the first time in Nigeria, the green, white, green flag rose, and people were happy. It was the day Nigeria became free, according to constitution, according to history. But wait, how did we get here? Who decided what kind of freedom we got? And why did Nnamdi Azikiwe, the first of the independence fight, end up as the Governor General, while Tafawa Balewa became the Prime Minister? Let's uncover the whole story, what happened before and after. Before independence, Nigeria had regions: North, East, West, and later the Midwest. Each region had strong political leaders. Like in the North, Sir Ahmadu Bello led the Northern People's Congress, that is the NPC. In the West, Obafemi Awolowo led the Action Group, the AG. While in the East, Nnamdi Azikiwe led the National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroon, the NCNC. These were top political parties before independence. The British structured the regions in such a way that the North had the largest population. This means in a parliamentary system, the North had the advantage of numbers. The North were bigger, they were much more in number, and they had population, and that is what was needed in this kind of system. In December 1959, Nigeria held her first general election. It wasn't like today's election where INEC announced results on TV and announced the winner. It was parliamentary style, meaning people voted for parties, and whichever party won the most seats in the parliament would form the government. And the MPC, led by Ahmadu Bello, won the most seats, but not enough to govern alone. So the NCNC, that is Azikiwe's party, came second, and Awolowo's Action Group came third. Meaning the Sir Ahmadu Bello was supposed to be the leader of Nigeria as the prime minister. Where it gets interesting is that Ahmadu Bello, the leader of the winning party, refused to leave the north to become prime minister in Lagos. He refused. Instead, he sent his deputy, Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, and that is how Balewa became Nigeria's first prime minister. Nnamdi Azikiwe was the most popular nationalist figure. He was the face of independence, the people's leader. But because his party didn't win the majority, he couldn't be prime minister. Instead, through negotiations, the NCNC agreed to form a coalition government with the MPC so that they can work together, because MPC won, but they were not actually overwhelmingly. As part of the deal, Azikiwe was made Governor General, that is the ceremonial head of state representing the Queen, until Nigeria became a republic in 1963, when he became the first ceremonial president. So in that 1960, he was just representing the Queen as head of state. So Zik got the prestige, while Balewa got the real executive power. How does that sound? Now, back to that same morning. Princess Alexandra of Kent, who represented the Queen, was present. She handed over the instrument of independence to Balewa. Zik stood there, proud, knowing that history would remember him as the man who carried the face of this independence fight. Crowds filled the streets of Lagos. People danced, masquerade performed, bands played. For ordinary Nigerians, it was hope that poverty, division, and colonial control were finally over, and then we are going to see progress. That was the hope that we had as ordinary Nigerians. But here's the hidden truth. Independence was not the end of colonial influence. The way the constitution and elections were structured favored the North, ensuring that Britain's interests were safe. We were always going to have problems. That is why some people argue that we didn't get through independence in 1960. No, it was just a managed transfer of power. Still, October 1st was a day of pride, a day when Nigerians stood tall before the world. Let me ask you, if Nnamdi Azikiwe had been prime minister instead of Tafawa Balewa, do you think Nigeria's story would have been different? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. This is AMMA, where we don't just tell history, but we uncover it. Shalom.